Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 714 podcast. Today, I got a very special guest, Vivika, here with me.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm great. How about you?
I'm doing good. Just staying at home like everybody else.
Honestly, same. The only time I really go out is to act like my sister's personal DoorDash. But other than that, no, I don't really go. I've been really trying to practice social distancing.
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing that's gonna stop the prevention of the virus from spreading. So, yeah.
So, have you been binge watching a lot of shows lately because of quarantine?
Yeah, I've been on Netflix like every day.
I know. I'm so mad because at my school, we did this. I took AP Macro, and basically, there was this thing we had to do where we had to invest in the stock. Well, it was like the fake stock market, but it was like kind of real. It was like fake money, but like you get to see how the stocks work. And I really wish I invested in Netflix and Amazon and even in Zoom because I invested in Disney and it was not, that just dragged me down completely. It's because like 40% of their revenue comes from parks.
Yeah.
And a decent amount also comes from like their movies and theaters. And because like all those things are closed down, it's like even the most avid Disney fans won't even like it.
Yeah, Netflix and like anything that consumers are using right now when they could use it at home is gonna do well. Like Amazon, people are buying a lot of shit from Amazon right now.
I know, it's taking so much longer to deliver everything. It usually takes me like 3 to 5 days, but sometimes I'll take 10 days. I'm like, wow, all right.
Yeah.
But even though, like you said, even though like Disney Plus is flourishing, there are some parts of like their movie and television is also kind of stagnant because I feel the worst for the Disney-owned ESPN. Like all these games are canceled right now. Yeah. So what are they going to do with hours of screen time?
That's why they launched the Last Dance documentary. Have you seen that?
I have not.
It's about Michael Jordan and basically in his prime years in the NBA, the 90s, and it takes like a deeper look into the team. And it's a really good documentary. It's a 10-part series. I think the last 2 are this Sunday. So it's been going on it was supposed to release in June, but since all this happened, they decided to release it in April, and now it's going to end in actually this week. So
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it though. I'm not the biggest NBA fan, but I do like going to the games though. Actually, I don't know if you knew, but my dad bought like seasonal tickets at least he used to.
Yeah, for the Clippers.
Before, and I really wish he did this year because they were doing really good.
I know.
Like, you know what I mean?
I wonder what's gonna happen to those people who have the season tickets right now. Are they gonna transfer to next season or what's gonna be? Because
I have no idea.
People spend a lot of money on those tickets, and you can't go to the game. And even when the NBA season restarts, I don't think they're gonna allow fans to go in.
Or like they'll do what Disney did, like do like 1/3 of the people, or they're gonna have to do one of those.
You're like lagging right now.
Block off all the other seats.
Okay.
Like, sorry.
It's fine.
It's like seats are like 6 feet apart, or like 3 chairs apart. Make them sit like that. I feel that's what they would have to do.
Yeah. What did Disney open a park or something?
Well, I know Shanghai Disney is opened up a couple days ago. So, and I think a couple of them are going to open up, although at least when I read, most analysts said that they were not going to open up until they predicted. I don't know if it's true, but they said not until 2021.
Especially the one like here, Disney, like Disneyland in Anaheim.
Yeah.
That one's not gonna open.
Yeah, I don't think it's because I don't. It's gonna sound really bad, but I don't think anyone in OC really social distances.
No, they all wear masks, but they don't. They're all just trying to go to the beach or hang out with their friends or do something. Especially
Yeah,
now that it's like great weather outside. Nobody's wanting to stay inside.
I mean, it's such a beautiful day outside. The skies are so blue. It's so hot. We just usually just what me and my sister usually do is we just swim in our pool in the back,
Mm-hmm.
like in our backyard.
Yeah.
But I actually have something to say about that. A couple days ago, I was at Lido because I was getting my sister food, and apparently, a lot of people from the LA counties come down to here because our beaches are open. Which I'm just like, it's like packed in Lido on the weekends. So I'm
Yeah.
sure it's crazy right now.
Did you
And
hear about the LA County saying that the the stay-at-home order is gonna be extended till July?
I know. I think
That's crazy.
yeah, I know. I have friends who go to USC. Well, she's going to USC this
Mm-hmm.
year, and apparently their football season is completely canceled
Yeah. Our
because of the
the Cal
lockdown.
State system, the Cal State University system is saying that all fall 2020 classes are online.
What?
Yeah. They just sent out like an email last or this week actually and saying it's all going to be online now for fall.
That sucks because I was really like, well, as you know, I'm going to George Washington, and
Oh yeah,
our
congrats on that.
thank you.
Hmm.
But the thing is, it's very, very artistically centered. At least our first year, you take like 3 art classes and only one gen ed. So I
Yeah.
don't know how I'm gonna do art classes online, let alone I don't know how much I'm willing to pay 70K for an online for Zoom University.
Yeah.
Okay, I would much rather go to community college and then transfer because I like because I just want it to be worth it, if that makes sense. Like I don't
Hmm.
want to because college also encompasses like the campus feeling, and also as much as it is academic, it also has to be social. And I don't want to be spending my college years cooped up somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, this past year I dormed at my college, Cal State Fullerton, and it's like it's a different feeling than just being at home the whole time. And you get to meet with new people and it's just like a whole experience that you go through that you can't just do on a Zoom meeting. Like even the podcast, I had to do it like this now, which isn't the same as being in person. So, we all
I
had to
know.
adapt, but life goes on.
Maybe one thing about it is I think it's going to change the way we do things. Like maybe like why do we have to travel all the way across the country to do an interview? Are we going to have to start implementing doing Zoom interviews, or do you think Zoom is just completely going to die out?
I think a lot of people are gonna transition into online. Um, a lot of office jobs are currently being done at home, and people or businesses are gonna realize, hey, we could spend less money on office space and just make them work from home if their productivity is the same, then they could just do their work from home. So I think Zoom will continue to grow, but I don't know if it's going to be the same as right now because everybody is using Zoom right now. Every
I,
school and everything.
should have invested in Zoom in the fake stock market game. Ugh, oh
Do,
well.
do they have stock? Like, what is it at right
I'm
now?
I'm sure they do.
I
Here, let
haven't
me.
seen because I know they're. I don't think Skype even has a stock either.
No, they do.
They do.
It's like it's up. It's like
Yeah,
really, really up.
yeah. I don't know their numbers before, but it's definitely not at what it is right now. They're going through the roof, and
I know.
and um luckily their servers aren't as bad. I mean, I know there's been a lot of Zoom bombings and stuff like that, where people have gone into Zoom calls and they've had to make it a little bit more encrypted and better security, but people are still using it, which is good.
I know. I know about Zoom bombs. One time I tried to make a Zoom call with my Mandarin class, and we were all going to play Cards Against Humanity online. And basically, this one person decided to turn it into a Discord chat, and I got really annoyed, but it's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there have been a bunch of Zoom bombings. My brother, he said that some random guy just got into one of his classes and started cussing and stuff, and they had to kick it. Yeah.
You get saying the N-word, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah. They got to do a better job of, I think, well, that's probably a student that probably told that kid or that person to just come on to class and some crazy shit.
But then, like, sometimes on some Zooms, like, they'll be like celebrity. Like, did you not see what Lily Singh did? She like hosted this one person's graduation on Zoom. Like this one, it was really cute. So I think maybe not all Zooms are bad, but
yeah,
I think sometimes they can be really annoying.
Mm-hmm. Like John Krasinski, he does Zoom meetings every week, and I forgot what his show is called. It's on YouTube. I think it's like Some Good News or something like that. And he last week he did like a celebration where he got the whole office cast to come on the Zoom meeting and celebrate this person's wedding, which they did it all online.
That's so adorable. Yeah. I feel so bad for weddings. We were actually supposed to go to one in England, but that did not end up happening.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay. But because we're all binge watching, Shyam, have you seen Never Have I Ever?
No. Is that a show?
What? Okay.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I don't know what it is.
It's basically about this Indian American teenager who just goes through high school. I mean, like, I have a lot to say about it, and I think you should watch it because I have never seen myself represented as a main character. I've only ever seen myself as like a comic relief or like the brain character, or like the brainiac character, like Baljeet, or played out in a stereotype. And I'm just like, okay, wow. Mm-hmm. It's
What happened?
The sister.
Tell her to come on. It's fine.
Vicky, come here.
No. Okay. What happened with the show?
So, okay, have you seen so do you want me to give spoilers or so basically how do you feel about like having an Indian American like MC main character?
I think that's great to see like us represented and on a big show like that, like being a main character. Usually, like you said, it's where we're not like represented that much in Hollywood, and yeah, it's great to see.
And the main character, she's like cute, but she's not like drop dead gorgeous like Priyanka. And it's so refreshing because not all of us look like her. Mm-hmm. Not all of us look like but it's just like one girl who's like average, but she's like very, very. She's pretty, but she's average, if that makes sense. And she looks like a typical Indian girl, which is kind of refreshing to see. I think.
But what's the show about? Like, if you could give a summary.
So it's about this girl who's like 15 years old, and she goes through high school, and she just wants to kind of ramp up her image, like go to parties and kind of like become popular, which I understand, Like, the main character is very whitewashed, and a lot of people were hating on her for it. But let's be real, how many of us Indian Americans at 15-year-old were proudly embracing our culture? I sure as hell wasn't. It took me a while to really come to myself.
Mm-hmm.
I like embracing, because I went to a predominant, this is no hate to them, but I went to a very predominantly white school, both middle and high school. So I often felt like it was harder to really embrace that, because I felt like, because there's such a difference between cultural difference, I felt like they wouldn't understand me, if that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. But I mean, you just had to be proud of where you come from and your culture. A lot of, like you said, you were surrounded by a lot of people that didn't know uh, our culture, and the best thing to do is just talk to them about it or explain it. I mean, I know it's probably embarrassing, but you got to do it.
I mean, yes, that's true. Like, it took me a while to feel comfortable posting on Instagram in an Indian outfit for
Hmm.
a really long time, because I was so scared about what my peers would think of me. But now it's just like, I don't care, because it's so. Apparently now Indian culture is so in, and they like goo goo gaga. Oh, everybody does over henna. Even I do. I
Yeah.
love it. It was super funny explaining it to my teacher, explaining what it is. And I was like, I was surprised he didn't get in trouble for it though. But he was so. It was like nice. It's nice though. I'm not saying that like they're closed off. It's just nice to like have people actually be interested in us and our culture, not use it to like, I don't know, make fun of us, if that
Mm,
makes sense.
yeah. Um, what other shows have you been watching?
Well, I got back into Avatar: The Last Airbender.
That's on Netflix now.
Yeah, they got
Really?
on back on Netflix in actually yesterday.
Damn. That's,
And
I remember that show, but I didn't watch. I'm not like a huge fan of it but I watched some of them. It looked pretty cool as a
it
kid.
was very mature, actually. It was a very mature show.
Hmm.
And because like it deals with everything. It deals with genocide. It's literally about a 12-year-old kid who dealt with genocide. Like, that is not a Nick show. But one of the things I love the way they portrayed was female characters. Because I feel like, you know Rey from Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
I don't like we were, because in my school we were talking about, we do this thing called like masculinity and femininity, and I don't agree with my teacher, and I was talking about it with my friend as well, that like she was saying that Rey is a strong female character. What I actually beg to disagree, because everything came so easily to her, and basically like, I feel like when it comes to creating strong female characters, they basically take a guy and make it into a girl, if that makes sense. Like, and they always act like in order to be badass and powerful, you have to take away things that are stereotypically feminine, like compassion and kindness and caringness. That's not even a word. You know what I mean? And trying to make him like a crazy assassin or something.
Hmm. Yeah, they should just uh try to be themselves, just portray the character for who she is, or like the writers should understand that not everyone is the same, you know.
Well, it's just more like, I don't think like those, and because those feminine traits are taken for weakness, that's why they don't like having like female characters who are like. There's nothing wrong with having a masculine and female character. It's just like, I feel like it's so over. Like, you don't
Everyone
have to
does it.
be. Yeah, it's oversaturated, and you don't always have to be a strong female character who's always empowered. Well, okay, no, you don't have to have a character who is always empowered in order to be strong. Like, if you remember Katara from Avatar: The Last Airbender, she was a strong character, but she was also compassionate, maternal, and kind. And I think that's what made her so well rounded. And also, she had flaws. She was extremely opinionated, and she often lost control of her temper, and she dealt with trauma of losing her mother.
I'm not that into the show, but okay, I believe you. I haven't
I don't
watched
know.
that show in like at least 10 years. So I don't know.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
what shows have you been watching?
I watched Ozark. I watched a few episodes of that. It's pretty good. It it's shot like a movie. Like every episode is like a movie, 1 hour long, and it's a good show though. There are 3 seasons. I've only watched I think 4 episodes, but it's a really good show about um basically this family that has to go undercover because they're uh the main character is like a dad, and he's basically laundering money for this cartel. And yeah, there's a whole story and backstory. I haven't gotten that deep into the show, but it's definitely worth checking out.
Or Friends? Have you watched Friends?
Friends, I've watched Friends like at least 3 times every episode.
What's your favorite? Okay, what's your favorite Friends episode? Wait, episode.
I don't really have a favorite. I used to watch it when I was in high school, and I came back from I came back home from lunch at 12, and it was always on TBS at that time at 12 p.m. And I used to just watch it while I was eating lunch, and over like 2 years, I've watched every episode.
Wait, you got to leave campus for lunch?
Yeah,
Our
uh,
school doesn't even allow us to do that.
our campus, my high school's campus is open. There's no gates at all. It's
Oh,
just
well,
completely open. And if you're,
well, I'm sorry.
I thought you were gonna say. I was just gonna say, that if you're a junior or senior, and you only have 4 periods, like 4 classes, then you could leave early.
What the
So
hell? That's so unfair. I mean,
you
like,
didn't
we
have
could do
that.
that at my school, you can do that. It's just if you have 4 classes, you can leave by lunch. It's just more like it's just that we can't leave campus without signing in or signing out, if
Yeah,
that makes sense. And like and like we can't. It was so annoying, but they're very strict on rules. Like we can even have our phones out, and it's extremely gated because of what happened in Parkland. They started building up the gates and started putting like extra security ever
hmm,
since that happened. So, which makes me really sad to think about.
yeah,
But hey, that's the reality of most people here.
yeah, yeah. My high school doesn't give a fuck. They don't care. They'll keep it open. They're redoing the parking lot right now. They don't care about security. So yeah, but I watched a bunch of Friends episodes. And Seinfeld. Have you watched Seinfeld?
I've seen it. I used to have Hulu and I watched a couple episodes. I've seen the Elaine dance episode.
Yeah, that was funny. I I think, in my opinion, I like Seinfeld better than Friends, but that's just my opinion.
I mean, I agree with you too. It's just I don't know how to access all the Seinfeld. I watched like the first season when I still had Hulu for my
Hmm.
sister, but I really want to. I don't know if I can like get back. I wish they had it on what's it called, Netflix,
Yeah,
Amazon
but
Prime.
they always have to make like crazy deals. Once one platform gets it, they sign a deal for 3 years or something like that, and it's basically exclusive to that platform. You can't get it anywhere else. Um, there's also HBO Max that's coming out. Have you heard about that? I think you froze.
PBX.
You froze a little bit, but I was talking about HBO Max.
Oh yeah, I have heard of it.
Yeah, it's another streaming service that it's gonna have its own shows, like stuff on HBO and other things.
That's
I think it
awesome.
also has Friends on it. I think Friends left Netflix the start of this year.
They did.
Yeah, pretty
Let
sure they
me.
did.
I know I actually wait. At Parsons, I had a friend who basically was so dedicated to watching, what's it called, Friends, and basically she like binge watched the entire thing in one day. And I was like, okay, that's dedication.
One
But
day?
yeah,
How?
I'm sorry, 1 week, 1 week,
1 week?
like one season per day.
Oh, okay.
One day,
Damn.
I don't know how you could do that.
There's the seasons are each episode is like 20 minutes without commercials, 22. So
It was during summer vacation,
yeah.
so I think she had a lot of time on her hands. But
Mhm.
yeah. But I always enjoy watching like the little clips
Yeah.
on like YouTube. Also, were Ross and Rachel on a break?
Yeah.
Okay, but I don't. I mean, I
But
can
I don't think
see.
that he should have done that though.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think so. That's really mean. I feel like that's mean. But like
Mhm.
at the same time, it's just like, why is it that every time like Ross is single, Rachel doesn't want him, but whenever Ross is taken, she always wants him?
Cuz that's what
Like,
makes the show interesting. The
it's
writers
just
know this
so
shit.
toxic. That's so toxic, though. Why would I feel like Ross and Rachel were such a toxic relationship? Please, no one at me at all. I just think they were, and
Mhm.
I don't know, but I think the coolest girlfriend was Mona.
Yeah, she was pretty cool. But
I mean, come on. I would have left if I was in her situation.
yeah, that was when he already had a baby, right?
Well, no, he was pregnant with Rachel, but
Oh
like,
yeah.
I don't know what. But like, they weren't together, but they're gonna have a baby. I'd be like, okay, no.
Mhm.
And then she switched locks on her. She doesn't trust. I'm just like, nope.
Yeah. Yeah. That show was good. That was when sitcoms were actually good. Nowadays, they don't make shows like that anymore.
I mean, How I Met Your Mother tried, but I feel like the ending was just so weird. I was just like, what? Have you
Mhm.
seen How I Met Your Mother?
I've watched a few episodes, but I haven't watched like a whole season or anything.
It's not that good. I feel like it's just a Friends ripoff. But then
Mhm.
again, so many shows are based, like, so many shows have that kind of, like, setting, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
apparently, originally, Friends was going to be a diner. But then Seinfeld already did that.
Oh yeah. Like instead of the coffee shop you're talking
Yeah.
about? Oh, okay. But now it's that coffee shop is an icon and the it's pretty much iconic. So
Especially the seats. The seat and then the apartment. I
mhm.
don't know like how anyone in New York City can literally do nothing all day and still have like the nicest apartment ever.
What do you mean?
Come on, an apartment like that in New York City is so expensive to come by.
Yeah. I know. Oh yeah, you're talking about like how they sometimes didn't have a job and they were still living there.
Yeah, I would be like, what?
Yeah. Well, that was back in the 90s, so
It was still
maybe it was a little bit
expensive.
cheaper, yeah, but it was still expensive. Nowadays
Mm,
though, it's crazy expensive.
I know you have to have like a guarantor, like someone who lives in this city who's willing to like be there just to find like a decent New York City apartment. And actually, what's really funny is that my sister always wanted to live in sorry, Waverly Place because
Mhm.
of Selena Gomez. I was like, this, but then when we were there, we're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I would love to live. I don't know what area I'd want to live in, but I've had a summer in New York, and I had to stay in like Stuyvesant Park, which is on like it's near it's near towards it's not too far from the upper east side, if that makes sense. But
Mhm.
uh,
In Manhattan, you mean?
yeah. Do you know
Yeah.
where Union Square is?
Yeah.
Like it's around there because I
Okay.
did summer at Parsons, which was honestly such a cool summer. I
Was
love
that
that.
last summer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too bad I can't do that.
I know. Now New York, nobody wants to go there because of the current pandemic. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen Times Square so empty ever. Well, I've seen pictures of it when we were
Mhm.
watching Andrea Porcelli sing, and we were seeing all these videos of all these empty streets of the biggest metropolises. Like, I don't think I'd ever see the Eiffel Tower so desolate. Even Times Square, there was literally no one.
Yeah.
That was crazy to me.
There's usually thousands of tourists, especially in the summer. This time around, May, June, a lot of tourists come by um, to New York, and it's packed. But now the the flights and airlines are having a hard time selling tickets because nobody wants to fly, especially
Ow.
the long flights.
I don't blame them. Do you know how unsanitary sometimes some um, airlines can be? Apparently, they say there's this study apparently that says that toilets that a an airplane seat is more bacteria bacteria infested than a toilet seat.
Really?
Yeah,
Damn. I would
which
think. Well, if you're a healthy person and uh, you have a house and you could afford it, like you probably clean your bathroom every week or so, and an airplane. See, I've never seen them clean anything in an airplane personally.
yeah.
So
Apparently, they don't. Well, at
yeah,
least some
they don't.
airlines don't.
Now
I'm
they
just like,
probably have to, but before I don't think anybody was cleaning anything. They might have like vacuumed the floors, but not the seats.
I know. I have seen some really gross stuff in the middle. Like one time like you know how there's like when you have that window seat, there's like this little what's it called? Like a little like gap between the chair and the window. I have dropped my phone in between that gap, and I
Mhm.
have seen some pretty gross stuff like granola bars. Not like
Yeah.
granola, but like granola bar remnants. And I'm like, okay, this is so gross.
Mhm.
I'm gonna get my phone anyways because
Yeah. Even though you gotta stick down into the
yeah.
dark abyss of the sea.
Yes, it's so gross. I was like, oh, disgusting. But apparently flights to Italy a couple weeks ago were so cheap. Apparently they were about $15 to $20.
From where? Just
Here,
anywhere? Oh, from here?
yeah,
Damn.
to from LAX. That is insane to me because
$15?
well, it was when Italy was on lockdown,
Yeah.
so
I
it
don't
probably makes sense.
well, if you go there, they probably will quarantine you right away and you gotta
Yeah,
just stay there for 2 weeks and do nothing. You know,
I
it's
feel bad for the foreign exchange students that are coming
mhm,
from any country because
yeah.
I don't know how some people can do it. We are lucky enough to have like a family to live here, but sometimes I just worry for the others. But as much as like, okay, can I switch the subject?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So, you know how everyone's always thanking the doctors and the nurses on online, like
Mhm.
because they're the ones that I have friends who are very personal, and I can't visit them because their parents are on the front lines, and they're and the one have to wear all these masks, which makes me super sad. Which makes me super sad because I love them to death. But the thing is, as much as I love those doctors and appreciate them, sometimes it's also the delivery people that I do. So whenever I get an Amazon package, I always I always write a little thank you note to them just for their work. because I think they're the ones, because God knows what the hell has been on those packages or what
Mm-hmm.
they have gone through, and they're risking their lives just to get our stuff. And it's like the
Yeah.
little things like that. Or sometimes I want to write little thank you notes to the fast food workers at when I go to Chick-fil-A, or like my DoorDash people. Well, I do that for the DoorDash people, but I don't really do that because I usually have to go out to get my sister's food.
Mm-hmm.
But I really DoorDash or Postmates because I also have a good friend who is a Postmates driver. So I kind of like do that because of that as
Yeah.
well.
I mean, it's great that they have a job at least, and they're providing good service to a lot of people. I mean, Uber uh had to lay off some people now because not many people are taking Ubers since uh, even Ubers don't really clean the car that much in the past usually. So I haven't taken an Uber since I think March. So even then, but yeah, you got to be grateful to the healthcare workers and fast food employees. They're the ones who who are deemed essential and they're still working, which is great to see. And I'm also worried about the unemployed people currently. A
Yeah.
lot, yeah, there's a ton of unemployed workers that are now having to deal with rent and all these expenses. These fixed expenses are still coming in while they're having no income to pay off their debt. And the government, they're trying to do their like they're kind of trying by giving these stimulus checks, but it's not gonna like fix everything.
And it also makes me so sad because I know someone who got fired from Nordstrom in the retail industry, and I'm just
Mhm.
like, or the restaurant business.
Yeah,
Well, I feel like now they're doing okay because now they kind of know, but like the smaller restaurants.
yeah, the smaller restaurants or even the high end restaurants that people they've started to have takeout now, and I don't know if people are willing to eat at high end restaurants right now.
I
But
know because we live about 15 minutes away from Nobu, and the Nobu from in Newport closed down
yeah,
already. So I have no idea. So we usually go to Sushi Roku, except our dad. For a really long time, my dad didn't let me get raw fish because he was so scared that like raw fish is more vulnerable to contracting bacteria as opposed to cooked food, which I understand. But it took him a while to really because my favorite thing to do is get poke at this place called Bear Flag, and well, it's one of my favorite things to get, but and I couldn't do that for a really long time. So I get where my dad's coming from, but
hmm I mean it's good food like poke bowls, and it's a lot of people eat it. So
oh
yeah,
yeah, ironically, because speaking of that place, ironically, I feel like I run more into my classmates then, like now than I did back then, which is
hmm
so weird because because a lot of my classmates live in like Mission Viejo or San Juan, like in southern Orange County. So it's not weird. It's not weird, but it was so interesting seeing them up, I guess, in northern Orange County. I was like, oh, hi. Except I
hmm
just don't like running into people in public. I don't know why. It makes
yeah,
me
it's
like
weird sometimes.
it makes me really uncomfortable seeing someone from school or at least seeing like a former classmate in public. It makes me really uncomfortable. I don't know why though, but it does.
hmm Yeah, I think 2 days ago I went to get Chick-fil-A and I saw one of my former classmates at the drive-through. She was working there. I was like, "Hey, what's up?" you know, it's been a year. Some crazy shit has happened. You know, uh,
Yeah. I also ran into like someone because I also live very close to UCI. Right. I feel like
hmm
I'm just incriminating myself at this point. But I also ran into someone who, well, they go to OSHA now, but they went to my old school, and I was just like, oh hey, and they're with their, and I'm good friends with the little sister. I was like super, I was so happy to see the little sister, except I don't. I like kept my distance from them, but I like air hugged them. I was like, hey, what's up? And then the guy was just like, what are you doing? It's okay. I went to
Yeah,
go get shared tea in Mendocino for my entire family.
yeah. Is Starbucks open?
I think so. Yeah,
Hmm.
well, it depends on the location.
Yeah, I heard. I thought they were closed, but I think now they're open again. But more and more people are getting uncomfortable with just staying at home now, especially in California, where, um, like I said, LA County said 3 more months of staying at home, which, in my opinion, is not a good idea because a lot more people will want to go outside because it's just too long of a time to just sit there, and especially if you're unemployed, um, you know, you, it's it's a hard decision to make to either go out and work and um, try to do something and just either then just stay at home and have no income.
I mean, I see where you're coming from, but to protect the health of everyone around you, I think it's best that like you still implement these social distancing measures. And
But
I
for
feel
how
like
long though? For three more
until like,
months?
I mean,
Because
I see where you're coming from, but it's just more like if you don't practice, then I feel like it can be a way to flatten the curve.
yeah, we flattened it um a little bit over or a lot in California since we started earlier than most states, but I think the governor of California is saying to to ease the social distancing and ease the stay at home order by the end of this month. You know how he said there are different phases. Right now we're in phase 2, and we're trying to get to phase 3 where like gyms and other stuff will open again. So I think his plan is better than just staying at home and waiting for this to end, because states like Georgia, they've opened everything up, and you know I
Same
haven't
with
heard
Florida.
yeah I haven't heard any like bad things that happened. I mean, I don't know what's going on there, but people were saying uh, they should start to release more people, because if more people get uh, immune to it, they'll like cause herd immunity, where there are enough people with antibodies that they won't that um, less people will get infected with the virus. What do you think about that?
I see where you're coming from, but it's just like I guess we can start like letting some people out. Some of the beaches are starting to open up again. And I'm
Yeah,
really happy to hear about that. I remember when Chris I remember when we first started online school, like everyone with Crystal Cove was jam packed. I think it's only because we had literally nothing to do.
yeah. I hated
But
how schools like started to give more work though, because they
I
thought,
know, right?
yeah,
I was like, bro, what the hell? Um, but some schools, I feel like you either have nothing to do or a crap ton of work. It's no in between.
hmm that's. But luckily now for us, it's over. So yeah, you just took your AP test
Yeah,
yesterday.
yeah.
How was the experience of doing it online?
Weird. It only says open now.
Hmm.
Well, these AP tests are now about that. And then I have AP macro next week. So there's that.
Yeah, but I heard a lot of people were having troubleshooting difficulties. Like they couldn't submit the test, or they had
I know
a
that
lot
happened
of
to someone I knew.
really.
Yeah,
Are they
that's like
gonna?
my worst fear. You have to make it up. I did that for A-Push last year.
Are they? Yeah, they're gonna make it up, right?
Yeah, and it's always going to be harder. Makeup tests are always harder than the actual ones, which suck because I had to make it up because my sister graduated from college last year, and I don't even get a graduation.
Yeah. Are they
I'm
gonna do an
so
online one?
no. I don't even know how it's gonna work, but we're all gonna go to campus and we're all gonna stay in our cars. And when they call my name, we have to get out of a car and get our diploma.
What? Like,
I know, right? I would just
that's
rather
weird.
have a real graduation in December, but I don't know. We usually aren't, but I don't know if that's going to happen because usually my family travels during December. So I have no idea if I would even make that one.
Yeah.
I prefer the December graduation though. I'd rather have it be authentic.
Like everybody being there and
Yeah.
going to walk, and you hear that music playing. That same music for every graduation.
Yeah. It was really funny because, and then after my AP test, I decided to go to some of my macro Zooms, and at the end, we always like go. There's always this tradition that seniors go to the quad and listen to the last bell, and I did. So I basically put on a fake bell, and I kept putting it off so many times, and they're like, "Vivika, you just set off the bell." I'm like, "Our school always screws with the bell schedule, anyways. What new is this even new?" So basically, at the end, at like 3, I was like, "Let's play," and then we all like signed off.
Yeah,
It was
it's
ironic.
tough. It's tough for people going to college like this year, like you. You don't know, it's uncertain whether or not you could go or not, and it's tough.
I know it. I really wish it wasn't because I feel like schools like Boston University and other schools on the East Coast are not opening up until January 2021, and because it's in DC, you have to take much more much more health measures. So it's only inevitable that schools within the area like Georgetown, Howard, and American are going to close down as well. Which I don't know, which I feel like is going to happen because like a whole, if that makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of schools are closing down, and I mean they're left with no choice really. There are thousands of students that come to campus every day, and there's no social distancing in a classroom really,
And
especially if
most
it's a big
bathrooms
classroom.
are communal.
Yeah. So it's better to just do it online and do these Zoom conferences.
I'm so zoomed out though. Okay, ironically, I'm very zoomed out. That's why when
What does that even mean?
I'm sick of Zoom.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm not sick of you. I'm just sick of the app, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
Just being on here.
yes.
Video.
I mean, I don't mind talking to you at all. It's just more like I'm kind of over Zoom. It was funny because when I FaceTime, I had a 4-way FaceTime call with me and my friend, and I'm like, I'm doing it on FaceTime. I'm not doing it on Zoom. I refuse to.
Yeah. Zoom, bro. Like that. The shit. Everybody's using this. It just feels like it's for school. And
I know. It reminds me of school. That's why I don't like it.
Yeah. But no other like video conferencing is as big as Zoom right now. I haven't heard anything. I know there's like Google meetings or something, but not many people use it.
Because it's because Zoom completely dominated it. I feel like Zoom is laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah. They probably got at least like 200 million new active users just because of this pandemic. It's crazy how some businesses are flourishing, like Zoom and grocery stores, and others
Pharmaceuticals.
they had to go and others have to go out of business because of this.
Yeah, it's all, and I can say this from personal opinion, like out of all the stocks that I quote unquote invested in, Johnson & Johnson did the best. And it was only because I saw how everyone would basically run to grab Tylenol because Corona and the flu kind of have like similar symptoms. So they ran a 24-hour power plant where Tylenol will be produced 24 hours a day, which is insane. And then they're also they invested a lot of money in trying to find a vaccine for Corona as well.
Oh shit.
Johnson.
Damn.
I think it's about 30 billion. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it's 30 billion.
For what?
They're investing in trying to make a cure for Corona.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think the vaccine will come out this year though. It's probably
not going to be until 2021 though. That's what they said. Unfortunately.
Now, what do you think is the best way to decrease the cases? Or I don't think there's a decrease, but what should people do? Should they get more tests, or what's the best option here?
I don't really know, but I wish we could do this, but there's no way in hell you could do this with 300 million people. But what they do in South Korea is they have like a phone and you can track, and it's like a tracker thing. So you can see who has Corona and who doesn't. And everyone cooperates just for the good of the country. Yeah. And then everything else is closed except for bars and schools. And they always make you go out in masks, gloves, the whole shebang.
They're very strict about, their protocol to deal with this. But the main thing over here, though, in the U.S., people don't care what the government says. They just want to do what they want to do.
I know, right? Like all the Huntington Beach protests, I'm just like, okay, y'all are whack.
Nobody, like even states or governors are disagreeing with what the president is saying. So, it's just too political and nothing gets done really.
Well, it's also 300 million people. Yeah. Compared to, what's the population of South Korea?
I don't know. Look it up. It's probably less than, I don't know, 50
million.
Yeah, 50
million. 300 million to 50 million people. It's easier to track.
Yeah.
So I think that's also what has to do with it.
And people don't want to be tracked over here. It's, we're already probably being tracked with our phones. But like, imagine having a chip inserted in you. Like, you have to have a chip or something to track, and the government could track wherever you are, whenever, 24/7. That's just.
I mean, wouldn't that like impede on one of the amendments? I feel like that's why they wouldn't want to do it.
Yeah, they're probably not going to do it, but I'm just saying if they did do that, that'd be a total lack of privacy. Yeah. And did you hear that people are buying more guns now?
You kidding me? Why? Yeah. Well, who would you need to defend yourself against?
I don't know. They thought that just because you're at home now, you got to protect your property and everything.
Who would protect your property? Everyone's too scared of getting Corona to want to invade or rob someone's home.
I don't know. There are people that think that they need to protect their family, so they buy more guns.
I don't get it. I don't get why people. Okay, I'm probably gonna get roasted by my entire school for this, but I don't get why there's such a need for guns. Because a lot of my teachers in high school, they were gun owners actually, and I was just like, okay, great. I don't know why they're so pro guns. It just does. I just feel like it just hurts more people than it helps.
They it definitely does hurt people, and it also helps people, but um, it's in the like the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. People just hang by that. Just they that's all they want. That's all.
Guns weren't as advanced though.
Yeah, it's just you know it's better to not have guns at all, but that since there are guns in the world, you should protect yourself if you want to by
But
getting a gun.
Japan, the UK, Australia, they all banned guns and they haven't had a single shooting since. And the only reason why we're not having shootings right now is because of coronavirus.
Yeah. I mean, there are probably still shootings, but the news doesn't report on that shit anymore. All the news does 24/7. You turn on any local channel, they're showing you how many deaths, how many people are infected. I don't even watch the news anymore at
It
all.
makes me so I mean, like, it's nice to know what's going on in the world, but it makes me so depressed. I'm just like, I can't even watch the news anymore because I get so sad.
Mhm.
Which I feel like makes me sound like such an ignorant. I feel like that probably makes me sound very ignorant, but like, it's just like I'm so sick of hearing about. I mean, as much as I care about the people, I'm just sick of hearing it 24/7. And I understand that it's like a global pandemic, but it's just more. It's just. It's just
Too
sometimes
much.
yes, it's just a corona overflow, and I understand that it's.
You're
And we're
trying to
supposed to
inform
know.
people.
Yes, but
Mhm.
sometimes I feel like some news people try to make it sound like a superhero. They're like, will more people die? I feel like sometimes they add more flair to it and make it sound like a story rather than having it be informative sometimes.
Yeah, that they just try to get people to watch and to click these articles that are showing staggering numbers so that you click on it basically. And all the quotes and stuff that Trump says, like the Lysol thing that he said, that you should um, get disinfectant to stop the coronavirus. They they blasted him for doing that. But man, that's why Trump is now like he just stepped away from the task force. You know how there was the task force um that there was Dr. Fauci and all the other people. They were doing press conferences every weekday. He just stopped because nobody like even cares anymore. Nobody's listening to him. Or
I mean,
yeah.
well, okay, it might get roasted. Well, I don't agree with Trump on a lot of things, but it's just so probably that's why people don't listen to him because I feel like he's not very respected as a president unless you're from a very conservative state like Alabama or
Yeah.
Louisiana.
He
So I think
tweeted
that's
I think a few days ago that he has a 51% approval rating right now. So
oh man.
that's good for him. Right?
I mean, like, I wonder how this election is gonna go then.
Yeah. That's gonna be. How old are you? Right? You're 18, right?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say who I voted for though, because that is private.
Yeah, I know. But I don't know how they're gonna do the election process this year. So it might be just all mail, or if this goes down, then we might be able to go to like voter booths.
Isn't it sad that North Korea might? I don't know, because you know what? How about Kim Jong Un, right?
Yeah,
And the whole Corona
he
thing.
said. I think he's still alive though. He's still alive. They were saying he's alive.
Because like I was gonna make this joke a while ago when he was potentially tested for it's really it's more sad that North Korea actually has a female president before the United States. Like I know that's not like it was from a while ago before they found out that he was alive. I was gonna make that joke, but now I realize I can't. Rip. But like, I also don't agree that you should vote for someone just because they're a woman.
Yeah, you should vote based on if you believe in their ideas and if you think they're good. I mean, even the party system to me is, people just vote for the Democratic president just because they believe that they're Democratic and they have to always vote this one party. This all I had to do for the rest of my life, just vote this one. And same with the Republicans, they just vote just for them and they don't realize to vote for the right person. And these past few elections, this one coming up, I don't even know who. I think Joe Biden is running for Democratic president, and then Trump is again running. Both of them are not the best. Just like when Hillary won, or when Hillary was running in 2016. So it's so tough to make a decision on who to vote for.
Yeah, I can't. I was so sad when Bernie Sanders actually dropped out, and I remember seeing his stuff on TikTok. It was so adorable. Mm-hmm. Do you hear that song? It's like, I'm your type, right?
Yeah.
That song. It was like, if you're like a president who, I forgot like what he was saying, but then he came and he's like, I'm your type, right? And I was like, thank you.
Yeah. But there's no telling what can happen in this election. But in my opinion, Trump is going to win again. What do you think?
I don't know, but probably he will, considering how much more. I feel like more people are Republican here. But it was really interesting because I remember my macro teacher said that Trump is liberal.
Why?
I have no idea. I just remember her saying that. I don't remember why though. It's like apparently like his policies in a way, which I don't know if that's true or not. But
probably not. But I think more people will just vote for him because usually the incumbent president pretty much wins, especially if the Democratic president, like Joe Biden, he's not fit to be president at all.
I don't think any of the candidates are, unless I think the last good president we had was Obama.
Yeah.
I fully loved Obama's policies. I have always admired him and his work.
Mm-hmm.
I've always admired Obama, and you know what?
He was just a cool guy. That's why.
Remember when he called Kanye West a jackass?
I don't remember that. He said that?
Yeah, he called Kanye West a jackass on national television.
Why? What did he do?
It was that. Do you remember that whole scandal with Taylor Swift when he was like, Beyonce should have gotten the best music video award? Yeah. That's why. It was like in 2008 or 2009 when he did that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he's like, oh, he's a jackass. And he was funny as well.
Yeah. And he was a president that you could relate to in a way. He played basketball. He was just cool, and everybody wanted to meet him. I
even love Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama is someone I've always looked up to. Even I like her whole thing about eating healthier and obesity, because as much as I hate to say this, but we always see this whole body positivity movement, which is great, and I think everyone should be proud of him. But at the same time, you shouldn't be trying to harm yourself. I feel like obesity. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I feel like obesity just does more harm than good.
What do you mean? More harm?
Because self-harm, because it's cardiac, because it's more like cardiac arrest. It's likely to lead to other diabetes, which is something that's not okay.
It causes more health issues and stuff.
Yeah. less die, like more, you're more likely to die. I think that's just what I don't like.
Mm-hmm. And it's like they're saying with the coronavirus, people who have diabetes and stuff, they're more likely to get the virus too. So a lot of people who already have health issues, they're even more, scared of going outside and because of the coronavirus now. So it's better to have a healthy lifestyle, eat good food.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to like fat shame anybody. It's just more like I think we should all look out for ourselves, and I'm not trying to like shame anyone and make anyone feel bad about themselves. And this goes on both extremities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. Anything else you want to add, or should we wrap this up?
I think I said what I had to say.
All right, then. Thank you, everyone, for listening. It was a pleasure to have you on. Thank you, Vivika, for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Make sure to like, subscribe, go check out Vivika's Instagram, and we'll see you guys later. Peace.